But many don't, as things have changed through the years. Mr. Matt Francis. Matt used to be a staple in the world of RC, and life has changed many years ago. And what's in your life these days?
Well, family. Really, it's come down to family and work. You know, it's kind of cool to see back. I know when the Worlds were announced that they were going to be here, I'm like, I got to make it up. And my goal was to try and come up for a little bit more time to see some of the guys. And just see the track and everything, because I know the guys at A-Main put together just a fabulous facility. And this is the first time I've been up here. So anyway, I wanted to come up and see everybody, and scheduled one day this week that I could get up, and Mother Nature pours some rain on us. But you know what? I saw the rain come in last night. I was watching on Facebook and everything. And I said, I'm going anyway. I don't care. I just got to see the track. I got to see the cars and all that stuff. And to be quite honest, I picked up one car when I got here, and then I've just been talking to everybody since. So, but yeah, it's cool to see it. It's cool to see it.
When did you start racing, you and your bro? I mean, when did you get into it?
Oh man, the first RC magazine I picked up was 1983, and I was actually getting ready to. I was saving my allowance. You know, I mean, I was 9 years old. I was saving my allowance for. I wanted a frog, you know.
Sure, Tamiya. Everybody started with Tamiya.
Yep. And but I didn't get my first car until I was 86, until 1986. So, and then quit racing off-road in 05 and on-road in 06.
As you look back through the years, obviously many changes went through from the years you were racing and into now. If you look back, a couple of the most memorable moments of your career as one of the main guys in our world of racing.
You mean which moments defined it, in a sense? Yeah. God, I mean, obviously I'd have to say, when I picked up my first sponsorship from Mike Reedy, would be probably number one. Number two was winning the Worlds in '95. It's moments like that. And then obviously another monumental change is when I changed to Losi in '97. But I look back at those moments, and I feel like I took advantage of, I took full advantage of opportunities that came up. But then when I look at other aspects of it, I think I really missed out on what could have happened. I mean, I see the direction of where everything goes now, where the races are more professional, live RC, things it's brought it to the next level. And I think that we had that opportunity back then, but the industry wasn't ready for it, or the technology wasn't ready for it, I guess, would probably be the number one. We did a lot of traveling around to the small races and to try and promote the sport, try and promote the industry and our company and that stuff. And we did a pretty good job of it, I thought. But we were limited, I think, on what the industry was ready for. So to see it now really expand into this professional industry is really cool. I mean, I said it on the RIP. And the RIP Nation,
right?
I did an interview there, and I said the biggest change is the perception of it. The organization and perception. Before it was just people out, punching in numbers and computers crashing and nobody interviewing and nobody promoting. And now it's a lot more promotion. So it's cool to see that. It's cool to see that aspect of it. But I guess I kind of changed the topic on you, but
well, no. It's insight that these people, the people that know you and people that don't know you, they want to hear. If we look back in the early years when you were hardcore and you were on the magazines and everything, you were one of the faces with Brian and you guys were around. You, in my opinion, were in a good way the poster boy of a professional driver who would take the time for the guy in the Z main to help him with his shocks or build his diff. Back in the early days, that wasn't around as much. And do you feel, as you look back on that, you really gave back to the regular racers as you as a professional driver?
I think so. I really do. I noticed that, or I mean, I always knew that it was a business. When the guys that were cutting the checks were paying you not just to win races, but to help them out. If we didn't help out the guys at the small races, they wouldn't buy our product. The more product that sold, the more money I could make, in a sense, I guess, or more opportunity I had. And I look back at it now and say, that was the fun part. When I'm at a race and some kid comes up to me and says, hey, can you help me build my shocks? I may be up in 5 or 6 heats, but I can build this set of shocks in 5 minutes. I can help this guy out. And I used to receive letters from parents. They'd send letters to Losi or something saying, hey, Matt helped out my kid, and I'll run Losi stuff forever. And that goes a long way. That loyalty, you create loyalty. So all it takes is one person, one bad apple. Somebody shows up and they say, get lost. That dad's not going to spend his money. He's not going to stay in the industry. He's going to get out and go do something else, get his kids somewhere else. So it was all about keeping brand loyalty. And there's so many brands now. I mean, back then it was just Associated Losi, basically. So if we lost a customer, we lost it to, the direct competition. So it's just a different aspect on it. And excuse me, having the image of, going to help out the small guy, that created a lot of opportunity for me. So I was very grateful for it. Pops Losi, Ernie Pavetti, those guys granted me a lot of freedom. And it was, I'm thankful for it. I really am, because I got to see and travel and meet a lot of people. Unfortunately, I can't remember a lot of the people's names or something like that, but I remember their face, and I can just walk around here, and I'm shaking hands and with people that I haven't seen in 7 or 8 years, and it's really cool to see it. Because I mean, as you know, we all grew up doing this stuff. So I started when I was 12 years old. I'm almost 40 now, and I still have all my friends on Facebook or emails or whatever. I talked to Todd. I talked to Richard Trujillo last night. What's up, Richard? Told him I'd give him a shout out. But it's just really cool to see everybody kind of come full circle. And now I'm looking at it going, excuse me. Now I'm looking at it from a completely different perspective. I am a spectator, 100%. And I look at somebody said to me a while ago. They said, "Yeah, you've been here. You've won this race and or this event." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I have. But now I'm done. It's cool to kind of come back full circle."
As you look back at your career in this business, what do you miss the most? Is it the friends you still have them, as you say, you're staying connected with them, but is it the competition? Is it the travel? Is it the winning? I mean, what do you miss the most?
Well, I don't miss the travel. I'll tell you that. Not at all. I mean, I envy these guys now. They travel a lot more than I did. The thing I miss is definitely the competition. Always the competition. Going out there and racing, the setup and seeing it all. That feeling you get when you're leading a race and there's the horn goes off and you got a half lap to go till the end. You don't get that in regular life. Excuse me. You just don't get it. And people kind of look, I guess, if they don't know the industry, they may look down upon racing toy cars. But that intensity, I miss. You don't get it at work. You don't get it in every day. You just don't get it. And I miss that part.
That's what a lot of people don't know, is that the intenseness and the competition and that feeling to push yourself and stuff like that, it's missed. But once RC is in our blood, it's never gone. You're still a fan. You still drove all the way up here to watch and things like that. Now that you're a family man, are the kids, is this going to be dad sitting on the sidelines eventually? You watch Gil do it now with Michael. Michael runs so well, and is that in your future eventually?
Well, my daughter's 2.5, so I got a ways to go.
Not long. I mean, a couple years they can be bashing some short courses around.
I don't know. I mean, I have a few tracks fairly close to me. I have NorCal Hobbies down there, but I don't know if it will be or not. I mean, I don't. There's so many things to do in life, and I spent 20-something years doing racing RC cars, and I don't know if it will be or not. I mean, we'll just have to see how it goes, and if she ends up, or we're trying to have another kid, you know, and if ends up a little boy and he wants to go race RC cars, I'm not going to tell him no. Not by any means. I mean, you know, let him do whatever he wants, in a sense. And, you know, maybe he'll look back and say, yeah, you know, my dad, he'll open up some magazines and at Grandma's house, and he'll see, you know, that we once were somebody, you know. But I don't know. Can't answer the question yes or no.
Well, we'll see what the future brings.
All right, thanks, Scotty.
All right, Matt Francis, one of the greatest champions in our industry, and it's wonderful you to take a moment to stop by and chat with us. We appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you.
All right, Matt Francis, world champion, just a class act from years gone by, and one of the great names in the history of our scene. It's great that he took time out of his day to come up here, and hopefully we'll get some racing in for him to watch, but great to have a chat with Matt Francis. Back to you, Charlie.
The man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Matt Francis, telling you how it is, letting people know that what he feels about racing. Like you guys have all alluded to, he was an